Hi Year 8s, this is Mrs. King. This is your work for the week commencing the 15th of June. Thank you to everybody that's emailed me your work. It's lovely to see what you've all been up to. So to start, just as we did last week, I'm going to give you your starter task for you to work through. Here are your 10 questions. If you pause the video now, and then I'll put the answers up. Please mark what you have done. What I'm now going to do is answer 3 questions for you, just so you can see how I would go about answering them. These are based on emails that I've had from some people asking me to work through these questions. What I'm going to try and do is model it on a smart book for you to see. So the first question that was asked about, just to remind you about factorising. So we're looking here, we're doing the opposite of expanding. We're going to be putting the brackets back in. So what I need to do is I'm looking to see what is common to both. So have a look here, we've got xy plus 2y squared. So I'm looking for the highest common factor of both, so something that's common to both. As we can see, y appears in both, so this is what is going to go outside of my brackets. Okay, so you'll have to excuse the writing. It's not as easy on a smart book as it is doing it on the board for you. So as I say, I'm going to put y outside of my brackets. Then I'm going to think about what goes inside that I would multiply by y to get me firstly xy. So I would multiply inside my brackets x. Because remember, anything outside of the brackets, we multiply by what's inside. So y multiplied by my x would give me here my xy. I then know I've got an addition sign, and I'm now looking to multiply something here by y to give me 2y squared. So I know that this will therefore be 2 and a y. So this is what goes inside my brackets. You can just double check that I've got this right. We've got y and we're going to multiply it by a positive 2y would give me 2y squared. We're next going to look at number 7. This asks me to work out, so wants an answer, work out 0.9 divided by 0.03. The way that I would write this out is my 0.9, and I would write it as a fraction divided by 0.03. Okay, what I'd like to now do is find an equivalent fraction, but ideally I would now like to work with an integer, my denominator being a whole number, an integer. It will make it far more easier for me to do my division. So, thinking about what we know, if I was to multiply this by 10, that would move my 3 into my next place value, so that would be 0.3. If I was to multiply this by 100, my 3 would move along, 1, 2, and I would get an integer. I would get a whole number of 3. Remember, whatever I do on the bottom, I must do on the top to make it equivalent. So I've multiplied here by 100. So likewise, I'm going to multiply my numerator also by 100. As I say, you'll have to excuse the writing. Not as easy. So we are going to multiply by 100. So my 0.9 my 9 would move, so 1, 2, places along would give me 90. Now this is far more easy for me to be able to do my divide by. So I've got 90 divided by 3. So some of you may just know the answer, or obviously we can do our bus stop method. So we have got my 90 and my 3 on the outside. So 3's into 9, go 3 times. Whoops, dodgy 3, and then 3 into 0 is 0. So my answer Finally, the last question that I'd just like to look at, I've been told the point 0 and then something lies on the line y equals 10 subtract 2x. Now the information I'm given here, this would be my x coordinate and this would be my y coordinate. So I've been given my x coordinate, which I can put into my line. So what I'm told, therefore, is y is equal to 10 subtract, and I've got my 2, and I can put in what my x coordinate is, which I know is 0. So just looking at that, I've therefore got 10, and I would be subtracting 2 times 0. So 2 times 0 we know is nothing, is 0. So I've got 10 subtract 0. Therefore, I'm just left with the answer of 10. My y, therefore, would be 10. So we're going to do something a little bit different this week. We're going to take a week off of doing the White Rose lessons, and we're going to do some maths with art for this week. So one of the options that you've got that I'm going to produce a video is for Celtic knotwork. You've got some examples here. I'm going to make a video and it will be uploaded to Go for Schools just under this video that you're currently watching for instructions of how to do the Celtic knotwork. There will also be another option, and that's for Mystic Rose. I think the Celtic knotwork does take some concentration, might take a little bit of practice, but hopefully you'll enjoy doing something a little bit different this week, and I would really like to see how you get on. So what I'd like to do is, once you have produced the artwork, if you could send it to me, if you could email it to me, I am going to create a collage of all the Year 8 work that has been submitted. I hope you enjoy doing something a little bit different. As always, any problems, please get in contact. I hope you have a good week. Take care.